Okay, well, here we are back on the desktop, and it's actually been a few weeks since I recorded that little snippet at the beginning of this video. And as I looked back at that video, I thought, you know what? My desk wasn't that bad, was it? After that, it got so much worse while I was working on this. Um, so yeah, now that I look back at it, that wasn't so bad. It got crazy, but I did go back and clean up. And I have this Advent journal calendar to show you. This is something that I made for my family, one of my families. So my eldest son and his family are going to be the recipients of this. This is going to be handed out to them on Thanksgiving so that they can jump right in. Thanksgiving's kind of late this year. So they can jump right in December 1st and start using this. And it's just a compilation of all kinds of activities and events and things that, it's kind of like a helper to guide them. They don't have to do everything in it, but it's sort of a guide to do some fun things and, just I don't know. You'll see once we get into it. And so I've completed this one basically and all of the components that go with it. And then I'm about to start in on another one that's going to look quite a bit different. I think I'm going to go a little more journalish looking on it. And of course, these aren't really journals because they're not really, I guess they could write in them if they want to, but it's really more of like an advent calendar. And so, but I'm making another one for my other son and his family. And the difference is this family is my son and his wife and their three children who are, well, by the time they get this, they'll basically be 9, 11, and 13 years old. My other son has a younger family, and their kids are 2 years old and 2 months old. So we've been busy the last couple of months with a new grand baby boy. Anyway, so their activities and events and different things are going to be a little bit different because those kids aren't going to do some of the things that these older kids are going to do. But anyway, let's hop in and I'll show you what this entails. So this is basically just, it was craft paper, 8.5 by 11, craft cardstock, and I just cut all the pages in half and poked holes in them, and I have a little template, and I wasn't sure how many holes that I needed. I wasn't sure how big it was going to be or how thick, so I thought, well, if I need to, I could put several book rings in it, but I think this is going to be plenty, and I may still dangle some things off of here, but I did, had a bunch of ribbon left over from different things, and some of it I filleted or cut in half long ways so it's kind of stringy, which I like. But anyway, so this is hanging off of here. So it starts out with this cover, and of course it's an Advent book, so that's what we're going with. And I added a little charm here on the front page. So they get into it. You know what, I could scooch up just a little bit. There we go, so you can see better. So you open it up. It's nice and crunchy sounding. And basically, this is just a card explaining what it is to them. And it's from me and my husband. He helped me too. He helped figure out some of the things and different ideas for different things. So he gets credit too. So this is just a little card. So this is number one, and this is what's going to tell them what to do and what's going on with it. And the fact that anything that has an asterisk right here, see that? Anything that has an asterisk means that there is some sort of a extra component that goes with that particular activity. So the first activity is day number 2 or number 2. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this every day. Maybe they're going to do more than one in a day. Maybe they're going to look through the whole thing all at one time and then decide. They can do whatever they want to do. it's up to them. Once they get it, that's their thing. So here we have trip to the bookstore. So this one, of course, has something to do. And so you flip this over, and there is a bookmark or tag or whatever that I made. Actually, these are magazine. Well, they're from the Costco Connection magazine from last year that was around Christmas time, and they had a bunch of good stuff in there. So I cut out a bunch of things, and here were some books, and how apropos for that to be a bookmark and having to do with a trip to the bookstore. So you reach in here, and there's one of these little coin envelopes that I've just embellished with some things. I had all this great paper left over from last year, lots of good scrapbook paper that I ended up using in several places in the book. But anyway, so just embellish that, put some little accents. This is actually, let's see if I have some over here, and I should show you how nice my desk looks too, because I did go back and kind of wrangle things into, piles and stuff. So these were from an advent calendar from Aldi. I love Aldi's advent calendars. They're so sweet. This, I think, was the one that had chocolates in it, and we actually had one for us. And every day, you flip up the little tabby and get your chocolate or whatever, whatever you're getting out of there. Anyway, I thought it was so cute, so I kind of deconstructed the whole box, and I have some larger pieces too that I can use as tuck pockets and different things like that. But these are all these little tabs, and so I've been using them to sort of embellish and poking holes in them and making tags. I'll show you that here in a little bit when I show you some of the other things that are components that go along with this. Anyway, so inside the coin envelope is a gift card. And this one just happens to be to Ollie's because they have really good book selection all the time. The kids like the books from there. So they got a gift card to Ollie's. That one happens to be $50. So they ought to be able to get a few good things out of there. So they get to go do that. They're going to make a trip to Ollie's and grab some books, get ready for the season. So this is just an envelope that was left over from a Christmas card or something that I received over the course of time. So every page has its, let me see that, every page has its little number. So they're numbered. And then things that aren't in the book, like this, like that, is a larger format thing, like maybe it's a wrapped up box or a gift bag, and there's a corresponding number on that bag or box. So I'll show you that in a minute. So this is number 3. This is a gratitude garland. It's an idea to, we also have an asterisk, an idea to just write down what they're grateful for, join the links as a family, make as many as you want throughout the Advent season. And that is actually this little ditty right here. And I'm sorry it's glary, but it's a Ziploc bag right now. I may put it in a gift bag, but it's basically a bunch of snippets that I, cut away from the papers that I had. And so those are long strips that they can, write on. They can write on the back or write on the side that has the image or whatever. I gave them a pack of Sharpies, so they've got, here, I can open this and show you. So these are in another sleeve, but that's all they are, is just snippets, some fresh new Sharpies in different colors, and some tape, just some Scotch transparent tape, a few rolls so that they can, do their thing. So they just need to go to the box or whatever I end up taking all this in. They just go and they grab this, and that's what they're going to do for number 3. So then we've got number 4, and it is be the gift. And again, we've got an asterisk. So They look in here, and this is just a cutout from the front of a Christmas card from days gone by, and he's a little tab. Getting gifts is so fun. Giving gifts is more fun. Go shopping for someone who needs to know somebody cares. Let your charitable heart shine. Every year they usually do, you know, an angel tree, maybe with their church, or find some sort of a charitable situation. So that's why I wanted to do this kind of early on. It's number 4, because a lot of times when you do angel trees, they want things in fairly early so they know what they have and what they need. So anyway, that's that. And here is another gift card, and this one is for them to go and spend on uh, whatever charity they choose, and they can probably get, it's usually toys and clothes and things like that for kiddos. So they can get quite a bit at Walmart. So that's another $50 gift card for them to spend. I'll be able to get some good stuff there. So there's that. So, part of this is kind of gifts for them, but gifts for others, but, just really ideas. And they don't have to do everything. They don't have to do everything exactly the way I kind of lined it out. They can do whatever they want. This is just a guide. So here's hot cocoa time. And it also has an asterisk. That's easy for me to say. And it's simply, they go to find box number 5, and I've already wrapped it up, but basically it's 5 mugs, ceramic mugs, and all the stuff to make hot cocoa. Some really cute little marshmallows that are little shapes, and hot cocoa mix, and candy canes for them to, put in their hot cocoa if they want to. So anyway, they just go grab that box, and everything they need is in that box. And they just unwrap it, get it going, and they're having their hot cocoa time. So that's that. So this doesn't have any kind of asterisk. It's number 6, and it's just simply an image that I had printed out from last year. And I just sort of made a little tuck pocket and just stuck a little tag. And they're going to have, hopefully they're going to have books, so maybe they want to use some of the tags that I've put in here for bookmarks or whatever. But this is, I wonder if I never inked this. It doesn't look like I did. I should do that real quick while I'm looking at it. Distraction. Yeah, because I can see this was like a really cute set that I printed out last year, and a lot of fun. Sometimes I use digitals. Sometimes I just use old Christmas cards or even wrapping paper. I love wrapping paper. Sometimes it can just be so fun just to use. Okay, well that looks better. Thank you for letting me do that. Anyway, so there's just, they just so holly jolly, just, have a good, Christmas time. It's really nothing to it. So, okay, number 7 has an asterisk, and some of these I remembered to print the asterisk, and others you'll see later as we go along that some of them I actually had to get a marker and make one because I forgot to print it, and I wasn't going to print it again because I was printing this all on like coffee stain, tea stain paper. So anyway, so this is Christmas cards for friends who need some good cheer. So again, this is them, with their sweet little hearts and getting together and figuring out who they want to send Christmas cards to. And actually, it entails another, just a bag for now. I'm not sure. I don't have all the components for this yet, but I have these. I have had these forever. They are just postcards. And look, they're a little old looking, and no telling where they came from. Maybe I even got them, at a garage sale or something where they were already kind of older. But aren't they cute, little mouses? And it just says Happy Holidays. So, they don't have to commit to Christmas if they don't want to, but it looks Christmassy anyway. But so they can sit down and they get another set of Sharpies. And these ones are a little different. They're a little thinner, but the ultra fine. I always thought that was interesting because ultra fine are not as fine as regular fine, but it seems to me like I use Sharpies all the time. Sharpie pen is just fine, and these are ultra fine, but they're thicker. I don't know. Okay, I'm digressing. Anyway, it is not that easy, at least at my post office. Any they didn't have any postcard stamps, or at least not pretty ones. I guess I could have gotten some out of the kiosk that were, postcard value, but I wanted something, kind of cool looking. So I'm waiting because I've ordered some to come, and you would think that they would come right away, but I'm still waiting on them. But anyway, when they come, I'll put that in here, and then this will either go in a gift bag or something. I don't know. Everything doesn't have to be wrapped up. Some of the things that I don't want them to see until they go to do whatever they're doing with it, I did wrap up because I wanted it to be kind of a surprise or whatever. But anyway, so this is number 7, and that is that. And number 8 is a nature hike. And I had all these really cute, I have such a cute little set that I got, I think at Hobby Lobby, of all these. It's really outdoorsy. It's not necessarily a holiday thing, but it's like all these cute little cutouts and little stickers. And I've had it for a while and I've used it for some different things, but I like this bear, I like him sticking out there. But I just thought those were cute, and they just might have fun decorating with those or putting them on packages or whatever. But a nature hike, which has an asterisk, means they go find, it's not a box, it is a stocking, and it contains 5 pairs of gloves that they can wear when they go on their nature hike. And they do like to hike and go to parks and different things like that. So I know they'll probably, utilize this activity, and they'll have fun with it. But anyway, I just got everybody some gloves. I got the girls, all the, mom and the 2 girls, some real pretty gray gloves, and then the guys, I just got some black gloves, so they can wear with whatever throughout the season. But you always just need a new pair of gloves every year. I think I do. Of course, I don't have a lot of expensive ones, so maybe if I had to, I do actually. I have a pair of cashmere ones that I wear, when I'm doing something nicer. But I go through other gloves throughout the season, and there's no point in spending a bunch of money on them. But anyway, so they're going to have gloves with that. This one doesn't have any particular thing going on with it. It's just time into the 9th day or whatever that maybe they just want to do some quiet reflection. I just used a Christmas card. These are actually those kind that you get. Our company, gets like samples if they want us to order, like, do I have any over here? They want us to order Christmas cards, to send out, which, gosh, we haven't done that, actual printed ones, in a long time. But, like something like this, where, you've got your card and you open it and they'll print your custom imprint appears here. And, but anyway, these are great for the samples are great for utilizing for projects like this. So anyway, that's what this was. This was one of these cards. So I just made a little tuck pocket there. And then these are just a bunch of tags from this other set, this printable set that I had used last year. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. I just love that little reindeer. But these are just, and some are printed on cardstock, others are just kind of on like copy paper. I poked holes in some of them because they were different projects. Let's see where, yeah, over here, I've got a basket full of them, along with a bunch of printed words and things down in there, and some bits and pieces. Anyway, I'm trying to kind of keep everything wrangled on my desk and not let it get all out of control. Here's another basket with like some other small bits. I love to use those little stamps looking things, stickers. And then these were just some things. I don't know what was going on with this guy. And there's my little coin envelopes for when I want to use those. But just to have this stuff handy and kind of wrangled, I like to keep a little basket. And then I always have my ink in a basket, and most of my glues are in this little basket that I have hanging around. Okay, so anyway, this is these tags, and so I just thought, they could use them for like gift tags, or they can use them for bookmarks if they want to. It's all good. So that's just for them to just take a break, take a beat, take a moment, and just enjoy the season and reflect on what's going on. Hopefully the kids can do that. I know the adults will. All right, so we're on to number 10, and it is what it is. There is an asterisk. There is a box. It's already all wrapped up, but it is the makings for s'mores. It's Hershey bars. Maybe I can't say that. It's chocolate bars, big marshmallows, and graham crackers. And they just go get it. They've got a fire pit. They can go out in the backyard, make s'mores, whatever they want to do. That's just for them to do that with. So, okay, so 11 is movie night. So this is obviously an asterisk, and they could just do movie night at home. I mean, there's so many. What is it, Freeform, that does, like, they start in December and just, or maybe it's at Thanksgiving and they start in and do Christmas movies until Christmas. So and we've seen them all a million times. But I thought it'd be fun. I think there's some good movies coming out for the holidays, so I thought it'd be fun if they actually went to the movies. So I got a few gift cards for them they can just decide which theater they want to go to. Just got some Fandango cards. And this was just a greeting card that somebody sent a long time ago, and I just cut it up and thought that was appropriate for this situation, since everybody's got their little 3D glasses on. Anyway, so movie night. And I didn't realize when I put this page together, I put the 11 down here, and I didn't know that I didn't have the gift cards yet, and I didn't know that they were going to be so tall. I could take them apart and just use this part, but I don't know, there's instructions and stuff. I didn't want to mess with it. That's okay. They'll figure it out. They'll know that's 11. So, covered that up. So, number 12 is personal care. So, take a moment, be sure to take care of yourself. So, this has an asterisk, and it is I think it's a gift bag, and it contains things like lip balm, nail files, shower steamers. Can't remember what all I put in there. I think, little eye patch gel things, soothing eye patches or whatever. Anyway, so they can all do it. I mean, even the kids will enjoy it for sure. So there's that. This is another one that doesn't have anything necessarily, just a thought for them to. It's a shiny poochy sticker that's on there, but just where is Santa? Why, all around. So they can just think about that. And then Sweet Treats has an asterisk. So number 14, they go, and it's a really cute little basket that I got at Aldi. And I can show you. Oh, that's really close. That's really close. Let's get further away. So this is a really cute little basket. I have tissue paper in here. I've actually already wrapped up the one for this family, but the other family is going to. Can you see that? I want you to be able to see it. Let's see. Look at how cute that is. It's not really colors that I decorate with for Christmas, but it's okay. It's not bad, but it's got all kinds of goodies. Let's see if I can turn this back around in there. And I think I got most of this from Aldi, but there's chocolates, there's cookies, there's mistletoe mix, Andy's candies, loose strawberry candies, and those little, these are organic, so they're not as brightly colored, but they're not using any weird dyes in those. So, and then some more cookies, and I may add to these. This is actually the one for the next grouping. I've already wrapped the other one up, but it's just with some tissue paper, so I can plunk some more things underneath the tissue paper, and no big deal. But that's sweet treats. Sorry, that was really close. So let's zoom back in. There we go. And these were from the Ollie's coloring book. What am I trying to say? Victorian Christmas coloring book. Here it is right here. And I showed this before when I did an Ollie's haul video, where they just have all these great images. Look at that paper right there. Maybe you can see it from the glare, but the backgrounds on some of the pages are just so sweet. I don't know if you can really see what color that is. It's more kind of a brown, but all these different things. So I just used wasn't that one? Where is it? I used, well, maybe that one only had that. Maybe those things were actually one of these pages. I think that's what it was. So anyway, those were just kind of cute, and I cut those out and used those as the sweet treats. Show. Moving along. Okay, so this is one of the ones that I forgot to print the asterisk, so I just kind of used my marker and made one. But Get Crafty is number 15. Create, build, decorate, make it your own. And just kind of put some cute little baubles on here. Had a really bright red button that worked great for this. And so they'll go into the box and get number 15, and it is basically a box of ornaments that you create and make and decorate and that kind of thing. So I think I got it at Aldi, so I won't go get it and show it to you. But anyway, it just, and then I had this printout from the office of the patent office for a sleigh. I actually I've had this printed out for a while, and I've got one here that I printed out on construction paper years ago, and I keep finding it every time I get into my Christmas crafty stuff. I never have done anything with it, but I want to frame it and use it, during the holidays, and I just love it. It's a sleigh. The patent is from 1897. The patent number was in the 500,000s already. I don't know. I love these things. I have one I have one in my bathroom. It's a toilet paper roll, and the patent for that, and it shows how toilet paper should be. I like it going over, not under. If you know what I'm talking about, I think it has to be a certain way on the roll. And anyway, it's just a suggestion, and it hangs behind the toilet in one of my bathrooms. But I just love these old patents. I just think they're so cool, the way that they, drew everything, and the handwriting. So cool. Anyway, okay. So, I mean, maybe they want to build a sleigh. I don't know, but I just thought that was cute, and I just added that in there just so they'd see that. So they're going to go get that box and make some decorations, and they can do whatever they want. So this is another page. Number 16 is just 'tis the season. Every season is the best time to tell someone you love them. So, again, taking a break, just think about the people around you and how much you love them, and tell them, whatever. So then this is kind of an interesting page. So number 17, it's kind of hard to tell what it is. So you have to kind of think about, because I've kind of got some crazy things, but you might get a hint just from some of the things that I put on here. Entertainment. This, I don't know, this is money. Somebody gave me some money left over from a trip that they took, and I thought it was cute that the queen was poking out through the peeking out through the peephole there. Anyway, playing card, coupon tickets. So you're like, what? Where? What? How do you know? What are you supposed to do? Well, this comes up, and this is just love this stuff. This is the paper from inside of an Altoids tin, and my husband is a big Altoids guy, and so he always saves the tins for me and the paper. And so here you flip this up, and it's actually the whole. There's a little "Have a Merry Christmas" sentiment in there. You could stick something else in there, but anyway, this is where you know what this is. This is game night, and it has an asterisk. So you go find box number 17, and it's like card games and just different little. I haven't actually finished that one yet. I've got like card games, and I think I'm going to do maybe some checkers or Chinese checkers, or I don't know. I'll find some more things. I still have a little bit of time. You know, we're mid-December, mid-November right now, but I need to get with it because I got to get this other one going too, this other book. Okay, Christmas lot looking. So this is the only page that I doubled up on. So 18 and 19 are both on one page. And these are those cute little tabs. But Christmas light looking is, they can just go on their own. And I don't really have anything for them to have. They could use their gloves from their nature hike or whatever. But I didn't really, come up with anything for them to necessarily do. There are a lot of great neighborhoods around them that do Christmas lights. There's actually, well, it's kind of famous in North Texas. It's called Interlochen in Arlington, which is very near their home, and they go pretty much every year. And it's a field trip. I mean, you go to the bathroom before you go. Once you're in the neighborhood, you can't really get out well, and it takes like 3 or 4 hours to go through. So it's formidable. But it's fun, and there's other places that you can pay and drive through. We've done those before too. But anyway, they're on their own on that one. But just to remind them to go Christmas light looking, they probably would have already thought of it by now. But whatever. And then journaling does have an asterisk. So number 19, and it's basically yet another container of of pens, and then a journal, a small journal for each person, kind of stylized to that, well, I mean, there's like a couple of adult looking ones, and then you can kind of tell, like for my grandson, there's one that's definitely for a boy, and then you got kind of a teenage girl and then younger girl. Anyway, but really cute, and then some stickers and different things. But just they can go journal. Maybe they want to write down their thoughts for the season or whatever. I don't know, but anyway, I just thought that would be kind of fun for them to do. And then number 20, oh yeah. So this is Caroling in the Hood. And it has an asterisk, so it means there's something to do. And so this is just sort of a loose little thing holding this little, I just thought this was pretty, holding this little tag in here. I don't know where I think I printed this out last year, and it's just been kicking around. So I thought, well, I'm just going to stick it in here and use it as just a good journal on that if they wanted to. But anyway, so it's got "Oh Holy Night" printed on it, real pretty. But what they need to do is go and find number 20 in their box, and it is this glary package right here that contains these booklets, which are full of hymns that I printed out of a hymnal that I had. And so every one is the same on the inside, but each one is different. I just, did eyelets and really didn't even have to put these ribbons on them because they were held together. But it's just several hymns that they can sing. And I thought, the suggestion is for them to go caroling in their new neighborhood. They just moved just a couple of months ago, still, renovating the house while they're living in it, which is crazy. But just thought it would be, fun if maybe they wanted to go caroling in their neighborhood and walk around. And so it's just just some, just kind of blew them up because it's going to be dark if they go caroling at night. And actually, my husband gave me the idea that we should include some small flashlights. So I'm going to grab some and I'm maybe going to tie them on to one of the ribbons down below or something and put a string on it so they can remember to hang on to them. But this is, some of this paper that I had that I just love. And it's trying to use up some of that. It's also all throughout the book. And I just used some of the craft cardstock for the backing. So, and it doesn't even say anything, whatever. They can use it for something else next year if they want to disassemble them and take them apart. And just had a bunch of old ribbon that I used. So anyway, I made 6 just in case. Maybe one of the kids has a friend along, or however they want to do it. Or if there's a whole bunch of them, they can, share. So anyway, that's number 20. We're on to number 20. Okay, so number 21 is called Wrap-A-Pup. And that one also has an asterisk that I forgot to print. So there's a cute little tag in here. This is actually one of the tags that I was making when I first started this video. The previous video that was the previous part of this video, the first part. I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm saying. This was one of the tags that I was making. But anyway, Wrap-A-Pup. So they go and they find, it's another one of those soft-sided bags, bins, whatever, like the sweet treats were in. But anyway, it's got they have 3 dogs, and one of them's pretty new to the family. And this is her first Christmas. Her name is Nora. And they're going to go get blankets for them. I've got 3 different colored plush blankets for each of the dogs. So one for each is what I mean to say. So anyway, just showing some love to the dogs. So there we have that. And then this is make something yummy, and if you have enough, share with your new neighbors. So just trying to get them out there to the, I don't know if they want to meet their they have met them. They've met the ones that are right near them on either side. So, but they could go throughout the neighborhood and maybe pass out cookies. I don't know. But anyway, just sort of made a collage page for this, and it is an asterisk. So I just, they're in their box for number 22 is some tea towels and some containers for putting like cookies or whatever in, a cookie cutter, a spatula. It's all very Christmassy themed. I can't remember what else is in there, but just a few little things, but nothing perishable. They can decide what they want to make. Maybe they want to make Chex Mix or Muddy Buddies or fudge or I don't know, whatever. So then number 23, so we're getting close to the end. So coloring books. No one is too old for coloring books. So everybody got their own coloring book, and they are similar to this style, like that I get at Aldi's. So I don't think I gave them a Victorian Christmas one, but I'm pretty sure one of them is the Forest Core book. And then just some other ones too, like vintage tattoos and stuff like that. But I know I gave them one of these because I knew that I loved it, because obviously I have one and I've taken a couple of pages out of it already. But it's just, they're kind of nicer coloring books, and kind of like adult coloring books, but which are all the rage these past several years. Anyway, so they each got their own coloring book, and I gave them a pack of crayons and a pack of, I always call them matte pencils. We called them matte pencils growing up, but just, colored pencils. So yeah, so that's, they can just, do that, or who knows, maybe they don't want to, and they could give it away. I don't care. They can decide what they want to do with it. So I'm putting that back. So we're coming near the end. So number 24 doesn't have an asterisk. It's just simply a suggestion on Christmas Eve to do a shepherd's watch and go outside under the stars and read Luke 2. So they could, just go outside and enjoy the quiet and the moment and read the story of, Jesus's birth and, just take a moment and remember the reason for the season and that kind of thing. So that's the end of that. And then number 25, and you can see I made a bigger for the end of it. Number 25, just Merry Christmas with a little heart. And I just had these little stickers laying around. There's just tons of those kinds of things laying around here. But anyway, so that's the end of it. And I didn't put anything back here, and maybe I will. I don't know. I haven't decided if it needs anything yet. I could put another, I could put another card, like do like an image, or I've got all these things kind of sitting around, maybe a greeting card. I don't know. Anyway, but I feel like it's pretty much done. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm going to start soon on the next one. And I think it's going to be a little different. I think it might be a little rustic looking. I have this set of printables that I just recently got. And I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do, I'm going to bind it. I'm going to put colored papers in it. I'm going to bind it by sewing it instead of using rings. I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be different because, like I said, I've got much younger children. I mean, the 2-month-old isn't going to know what's going on, but the 2-year-old, she can do some things, and I am replicating, like I am doing s'mores and sweet treats and hot cocoa, and maybe some, there's going to be some decorations, maybe some toys. They have a dog too. There's going to be a dog component. So yeah, so we'll see how that develops. But that's what I've been hanging out and doing. So just trying to get ahead of the game here because it'll be upon us before we know it. And that's what I'm working on. So anyway, I will, if I have any revelations about working on this one, or if I change my mind, I'll try and post a video about that too. I hope you're having a good holiday season and that you're staying warm, and I'll see you in the next video.